character is system.in. Okay, that is scanner object equals new scanner stream. Okay. Now, from which stream are you reading the input? As someone said earlier, it could be standard input stream, or it could be file stream, or it could be network stream. Here, I am interested in reading it from the standard input stream. And how is the standard input stream available? It is available as system.in. Standard output stream as system.out, and standard error stream as system.error. So here I am using system.in. Now once I do this, I have an object named INP available to me, using which I can invoke the method. So INP.nextInt. NextInt is a method available to this object, which will read an integer, and this will be assigned to a variable. Let us say A. Hope I answered the question. Someone asked, explain line number 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, you did.
Understood?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Right. With this understanding, any other questions? Because I want each and every one. Okay. There are around 170 participants. I want everyone to understand about this concept, that is scanner class, invoking creating an object of scanner class to read user input. If you have any questions, ask them.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So I have a question that my program can be access specifier can be private or default also, na?
Come again?
So for that class, my program one. So public access can be private as well.
It can be private also, but if you make it private, then it's a useless class. Agreed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If it is a private class, it is a useless class, because if it is a private class, no one can use it. Okay. If I just say class my program one, then the specifier will be default access specifier, which again is visible only in this package. Okay. What is the package? My program one is the package. So this class and the methods contained in this class will be visible only in this package. So it won't be visible to Java runtime environment. In case I want this class and the method contained in this class to be visible to the JRE, then I have to make it public. Did you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, you will leave this recorded session in the drive, no, sir?
Yeah, I will be. That is not a question.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So what if you wanted to take the input as a character or a string?
Yes, you can. You can do it. Okay. There are other ways of doing it. Okay. We'll be discussing different ways of reading input. Okay. In subsequent classes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If it were double, then I would have said in dot next double. Next double. Okay. If it is a string A, okay, then A equals in dot next line. Okay. This is how you read one line of data. Okay. Clear? Someone asked me how to read different types. Okay. Now reading a single character is slightly tricky. Okay. Because you cannot read a single character, because when you type the character and press enter key, two characters are available, and that is read as one line. So in order to read a string, a single character, you have to read a line and then read only the first character. Am I making sense?
So how should we do it?
That is what I mean. I'll discuss about it later. But if you say A is your input, then A followed by new line will be read, and from that you have to extract only A. How to do it? I will show it later. But it is slightly tricky. That is what I said. But there are methods available such as next int, next double, next line, and so on, using which you can read different types of data.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, the my program class is public. The main aim of O is that data privacy. Then why can't we make that class as private?
No, no.
Then
See, if,
reusability will not be an issue. This thing.
no. The question is slightly out of place here. Okay. The class that contains the main method. Okay, I repeat, the class that contains the main method should always be public, because who executes main? JRE executes main. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if at all you have a class that contains your main method, and the program execution obviously starts from main, so the main method should be contained in a public class.
Yes.
Apart from that, you can have the OO concepts, that is data hiding. Okay, so you can always define another class, right? Class my calculator. Okay, I want to develop a calculator program. Okay, so I will add all the functionalities here. Okay, that is data members and methods. Fine. I don't specify this as public. Okay. However, the
So
by
what is
default
the-
it will be
Right.
default. It will be by default. It will be default.
Okay.
Okay. Initially, I said there is a fourth access specifier in Java called default.
Default. Okay.
Okay. What is that access specifier called default will become clear in the next unit. However, if you look at it now, all the functionality available in my calculator can be made use of by main method, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
this is not visible to anyone else. So you still have the concept of data encapsulation and data hiding. Okay, this becomes clear as we progress along. Okay, those of you who did not understand this, okay, forget about it now. As we reach unit 2, this becomes clear.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if you have a function in, if you have a method in my calculator which is static, can we use it? Can we use it in the my program class using the class name of my calculator?
I didn't get the question.
If I have a particular method in that my calculator class which is static,
Okay.
can we use it in the class my program using the former classes method? The former classes
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the question is class my calc. I have a static method.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now here I can always invoke it as my calc dot my method. Okay. It is available to me. As you see here, as soon as I typed dot, it automatically made me available all that is visible to me. So my method is visible here, so I can use it. No one prevents me from doing it. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Yesterday we did discuss about different control constructs available in Java. Okay, that is decision making and branching constructs like if else, else if ladder, and switch statement, and looping statements. Okay, such as while, do while, for, and specific version of for which is called for each. Remember all those things?
I don't know what is for each.
For each is what Russell demonstrated yesterday. Okay. For iterating variable, okay, type iterating variable colon collection. This is the syntax of the variation of for in Java. Okay. This is how you used in C or C++, right? For initialization, semicolon, test condition, semicolon, updation.
Yeah.
Okay. This variety is supported by Java also. You can write the old style for loops in Java also, but there is a variation of Java for loop in Java which we call for each loop. This is called for each version of for loop in Java. Okay. This is called the for each version of for loop in Java. And how does it work? It works on a collection. It works on a collection and picks each item from the collection and assigns it to this iterating variable.
Sir, so a collection has to be an array or something like that?
It can, I mean, array is basically a collection, right?
Yeah.
So it could be an array, or it could be an array of objects, or it could be an array of strings. Okay, it could be anything. So long as it is a collection, you can use the for each version.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So if I have an array, int array equals one, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Int sum equals 0 for int item in this collection. Sum is already declared. That is why I'm getting this message. Okay. Let me just delete all this. Okay. Look at this program now. Okay, I have an array which has 10 elements, and I have a variable sum which is initially 0, and I am using the for each version here, which is iterating through this collection. Is array a collection? Yes, it is a collection. In this case, it's a collection of integer values. So it is iterating through this collection, picking one item each time. So it picks 1 in the first iteration, 2 in the second iteration, 3 in the third iteration, and so on, so long as there are items remaining in the collection. Is that clear? And the item that is picked from the collection is obviously an integer item. Okay, so this loop is basically iterating through a collection, displaying the item that is being added, and probably at the end it will display sum is followed by the value contained. Okay. If I build it and execute it, it displays adding 1, adding 2, so on, adding 10, which is the last item in the collection, and finally it says sum is and 55. Okay, this is how the for each version of for works. Okay, it works on a collection. Okay, and the collection can be collection of anything, collection of integers, collection of strings, collection of objects. It could be collection of anything so long as the collection has homogeneous data. Did I answer the question as to how for each works?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, a two-dimensional array is also a collection, right?
Yes, obviously. Two-dimensional array is basically an array of arrays.
Yeah. So now we saw that in a single dimension array, it transverses from left to right.
Yes.
But in a two-dimensional array, how does it go from left to right or from top to bottom? Like,
No, as I said, a two-dimensional array is basically an array of arrays. Okay.
yeah.
Array of arrays. Okay. If I have an array that looks like this, okay. Now you can you not visualize it as this?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, yes.
Now this becomes an item. Item itself is a collection, that's a different story.
Okay, okay.
But this is an item and you can iterate through this item. So you'll have a nested loop where the outer loop for each looks at each item, but item itself is a collection.
Okay, okay. So we have to create another for each loop inside the.
Yes,
for
obviously
each
it
loop.
looks like this. For int a in array for int item in a, like this.
Okay, okay. Now I.
Did you understand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. Any other questions? There are. Okay. There are a few. I think Rod sir is answering the questions on the chat window. Okay. And was the session heavy? Because we discussed about a lot of nuances in Java. I hope you have understood the discussion.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
fine.
Yes,
In,
sir.
okay, in that case, let me leave the session with a question. Okay, that is a program that you probably can work on. Okay, I'll type in the program here. You can note it. Implement a simple Java program that will compute the amount of interest that is earned on an investment over a period of 5 years. The initial amount of the investment and the interest rate are input by the user, the value of the investment at the end of each year should be the output.
Simple.
Okay, someone asked, is it simple interest or compound interest? Okay, amount of simple interest. Okay, like if initial input is 10,000, investment is 10,000, and the rate of interest is 8%, then it should display year one it is 10,800, year two it will be 1,600, and so on. Okay, this is what is the expected output. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a fairly simple Java program that makes use of looping construct. You can use any of the looping statements that you feel is apt here. Okay. It could either be while or for, so use it and work on it, and you can upload your programs on the classroom. Okay. I think.
Yes.
And in case you have any further questions on the discussion that we had today, then you can send us a message, a WhatsApp message, so that myself or Rod sir can answer your queries. With that, I think we'll conclude this session. Hope you enjoyed this session and understood the different aspects of Java as a programming language, and how do we use IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment, and we'll be working on many programs, okay, in subsequent days, so that you'll have a fairly good understanding of the different aspects of Java. Okay, thank you so much for everyone, and have a good day. Bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
So happy Teachers Day, sir.
Thank you. Wish you the same. Sorry.
Happy Teachers Day, sir.
Thank you, everyone. I cannot wish you the same, but I can always wish Rod sir a happy Teachers Day, because incidentally he was my teacher.
Mangal, stop the recording and share the video.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, okay.
Sir, please share the PPT which was shown by Mr. Rod, sir.
Yes, that will be done.